with a twerk, you know what I'm saying, with the back don't move type shit. With a I can't do it. I'm a thick. Y'all see me? I'm a thick boy. I'm a thick boy.
Tulsa Comic Book Swap Halloween featuring Tammy Aaron, Jimmy Trammell, Johnny Johnson, Pacheco's Taqueria, Candy Food Truck, JC's Comic Book Lounge, Comic Cons Podcast, Empire Comics, Brad Ashworth.
Dad, you're back in town? Too busy off saving the world.
Well, you know the world doesn't save itself.
I'm gonna do something totally not awkward and make this the first day of the new me. It's time for me to do something meaningful. Where is the justice in pegging a civil problem on a single person trying to do something good?
Overachieve much, Miss Brown? I appreciate your enthusiasm, I really do. But shouldn't you be a little more concerned about your popularity?
What?
When Floozy in a costume says something about a crime boss, and suddenly GCPD is dancing to her tune.
I'll call him in. See if he knows anything about this spoiler character.
This that Batman Joker daily duo Comic Cons. This that Batman Joker daily duo Comic Cons.
Yo, it's your main man, King Castro X, coming at you guys live and direct with another episode, kids, of the Comic Cons podcast. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to break the fourth wall. I just recorded an episode early this morning with Young Master Jules. He's not here for this episode. You guys know he doesn't do the Batcave episodes very often, but we are here, kids, and I have now a reoccurring special guest. Second time on the show in literally almost a week, right?
Yeah.
We just recorded. Your episode just came out. Cheers to that. Congrats. I enjoyed recording it with you. Last time you were here, man, we talked Void Rivals. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Spencer himself from the Dingus Den and Red Shirts Remastered back for his second appearance. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I can't wait to delve into what we're about to talk about here, and it's great to be back.
True indeed. Speaking about what we're about to delve into, we got the Hulk himself back here on the screen behind me. Ladies and gentlemen, we like I said, I enjoyed talking with Spencer so much last week. I figured why not go ahead and bring my brother back for another comic book review. So here he is, kids, and he has picked two new books. You know what I mean? That have just recently came. I don't know quite when they dropped, but they're pretty new.
Recent.
Incredible Hulk Volume 4, Issues 1 and 2 is what we just went over. Written by Philip Kennedy, art by Nick Klein, and I think Matthew Wilson, if I'm not incorrect. But I enjoyed it. Just quick review, and then we'll go into the details. Just off first impressions, loved it. Had a great time. We had a talk not too long ago about kind of my views on Incredible Hulk comics, right?
Yeah.
And kids, I will say I'm not a reader of the Incredible Hulk comics. I've always felt that he was kind of a basic character. I like the guy, don't get me wrong, but I've never really, I just didn't think there was a lot of room to wiggle with the character. I just thought Hulk Smash was really all you got. But I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I'm excited to see what's to come. I might keep reading this, to be honest with you. It was good. This keeps happening every time you suggest a book. Void Rivals. I'm like, I kind of want to see what's going on with that issue 3 now. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm going to add it to the sub, but shout out to readallcomics.com. I might just have to check it out and keep reading it there. Give me your initial thoughts first, and then we'll go into the details, brother.
Yeah, I really enjoyed these issues too. For somebody, what's caught me most off guard with really enjoying it is how much, and we'll get into it, is how much of like a kind of a horror aspect it goes.
Yes, bro. Yes.
I'm not
Super hype.
as much as like a horror guy generally. Like I've been opening up to it more in the past couple years, I'd say, but like
Mhm.
this has some horror elements. Not quite a horror story, but it has a lot of those horror elements, and it makes for a unique Hulk story that I definitely really enjoyed.
Definitely, definitely. As you know, I am a big fan of horror. So, especially in comic books, I think some of the coolest comics are horror books, such as like Creepshow and things like that. You know what I mean? I'm super stoked. This is what kind of got me hooked. We have the Incredible Hulk kid, spoiler alert, basically going at it with from what I'm seeing, what's to come is monsters. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
that's going to be really cool. So basically, the way they're building them up in this book, the monster versus
Mhm.
monsters. You know what I'm saying? How are you
The
feeling about that, man? Yeah, go ahead, go
they're
ahead.
dubbing this era as the Age of Monsters, which is
Hmm.
very interesting. As far as because it's really different from what they were previously trying to do with Hulk.
Hmm.
Which there's some references here and there as far as what they've done, but
In
beside the
this
point.
issue you're talking about?
Yeah, in one or
Or
two, maybe
yeah,
both of them. I
yeah,
don't remember exactly where, but there was references to what they did previously. But
true indeed.
as far as this one goes, uh, I think it's a really good start for what they're planning on doing, and so
I
I don't
think
know.
so as well, man. It's looking
Yeah.
really nice. I do want to weigh in kind of at what's previously happened from what I gathered from issues 1 and 2. Are you
Okay.
open to going into that really quick just to paint some unfamiliar context because we don't
Sure.
know all the
Sure.
details. We only know what we've learned from context clues within issues 1 and 2, kids.
Okay.
We did not
Yeah.
read
Yeah.
back. So from what I'm understanding, what's happened is Bruce Banner has tried to basically imprison the Hulk. He locked him away in something they call the green room. Am I correct? Or the green
Uh,
door?
so kind of. It was. It's a really interesting idea to where we whenever you think of Hulk, right? There's two
Mhm,
personas, right? There's Hulk the monster and Bruce Banner the human form, right?
correct.
The run before this went to this what I thought was a really interesting idea, and that's why I initially started reading it, was to where they in a way added a third aspect to where there you still have the Hulk body, but all it is the body that is being controlled by Bruce Banner, and then the actual persona of the Hulk is behind this big locked door, and that's what fuels the rage.
Mm,
And that's sort of leads into what's referenced here with Hulk being really angry at Banner, because Banner previously kept Hulk locked away for a while as they
mhm.
went on all these wacky adventures.
Definitely, definitely. See, I'm completely unfamiliar with that, so I'm glad you're in the know as to you know what I mean, what's happened in these previous issues. Um, I don't know, man. I think that that's I just want to say, you know what I mean, like imagining myself in this real life situation dealing with the Hulk inside of me type. You get what I'm saying? Like it's kind of
Yeah.
horrifying. Throughout this book, they show
Yeah.
moments of Hulk telling him like, "Yo, you'll never get away with me," and or "You'll never
Mhm.
get away from me," and stuff like that. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this guy is he's kind of scary, bro." They're really capturing the horror in
Mhm.
the book. You know
They
what I
really
mean?
do. They really do.
I definitely think so. So that's basically what's went on previous, right? Bruce has
Mhm.
tried to keep Hulk basically held back
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
entire time. Yes. Uh,
Yeah.
so let's get into the actual book. The book opens up 1 year ago, whenever this took place, in Iraq, and there's some what do they call them? People that hunt down like old ancient, you know what I'm
Archaeologists.
archaeologists, there we go. And they stumble upon a cave, right? They're digging
Mhm.
into a cave, and they find they're looking for treasures and things like that, jewelry and stuff to sell. Obviously, they want to get rich, but what they find is basically a cave full of monsters. From what they think are dead. You know what I mean? They don't think they're alive at the moment they find them. So they start looking around, and next thing you know, these monsters come to life, and they're talking about "I'm coming to find you, mother," and this and that. You go ahead, you take it from here.
Yeah, this is a really terrifying opening, and it didn't click with me how like scary it is until the second time that I just reread this,
Mhm.
because it literally begins with one of them being possessed,
Yeah,
and
and it's
not
a
only
pretty
does
graphics
yeah,
drawing of the lady
yeah,
that gets possessed. Yeah.
Yeah, she like her head completely turns around and it literally says crack in the back there.
Yeah,
And then next
I'm
page, you
looking at it
literally
right now.
see
It's
this
freaking me out.
monster emerging, and you see that like part of her face on the side, and there's just a big jaw that opens out, and it's something else.
It's pretty terrifying, man. So I thought for the first time I looked at this, which was what 30 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? I thought that the monster emerging was actually the monster that you see earlier on in the chair, this giant being. But
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
It looks as if it's emerging from her flesh.
Yeah, it's a from her flesh, and then it turns around and like bows to that essentially.
This is terrifying.
Right, yeah.
So essentially, what we're facing is somebody called what is it? The mother, right? The mother, am I right?
Yeah, so there's this one person that there's definitely like this leader, and we get into it later of how she's trying to
True indeed.
do something with this door or something. We don't exactly know yet, right? But yeah, we'll get into that when we actually get to see her character more.
Definitely. Definitely. So moving forward, man, outside of the cave, that monster kills everybody in the cave. From
Yeah.
what we could tell at least.
Yeah.
Moving on though, man, it takes us to a diner where you find a very troubled Bruce Banner
Hmm.
quickly trying to order himself some sandwiches. He's very, as I said, very, very troubled. Do you want to go into why? Do you want to talk about that?
Um yeah, I mean, he's just haunted by that whole Hulk persona that's going on in the back, right?
True
Like,
indeed, true indeed.
and one of the moments that stands out most is what, he's ordering his food there, and he hands over the cash to pay for his food, and then he looks over and he starts seeing what exactly is that? Like there's this glass. Oh, like what? Like where people store their desserts in like diners, right? There's like a little glass
Like a
thing there, and
glass
you
dish, a glass
right, little
dome
glass
dish.
dish there, domed it, right, exactly. And
Mhm.
so, and you see like the reflection of like the whole kind of like looking back at him and saying,
Just pissed, fucking
"You're
pissed, bro,
right,
just so angry at him.
right." And he speaks to him saying, "Warned you better, should have stayed away." And it's just
Mhm.
it, it gives you more of that sort of horror feel a little bit to where he is trying to like come take over.
He's
Uh,
haunting him, you know what I'm
you're
saying?
hunting
Like,
him exactly, yeah.
which, I mean, rightfully so, though, like, from what we understand, like, you know what I mean, Bruce really tried to just do away with this man, like, completely to where, like, Hulk had no voice type shit, like, locked him
Mhm.
away, like, nobody would be happy with that.
Yeah,
Hulk is mad, bro,
he
as
is.
usual, but he's really, really mad type shit to where later on it references, he's kind of put away his hero mentality, wanting to
Right.
save the day. He's mad at Bruce. So
Yeah.
it's pretty tough. So with that, man, he sees Hulk in the dome dish, if you want, he storms out, you know what I'm saying, begging, you know what I mean, please don't, it's not her fault. He doesn't want Hulk to take over in
Mhm.
that moment. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He's trying to protect people as Bruce does. You know what I'm saying? Um, Moving on, we find Hulk waking up. I don't know how long it doesn't reference how long he was there, but waking up just a while later, man, outside of the diner. The diner's destroyed and cops are all outside. Do you want to pick it up from here?
Yeah, I mean, from there, yeah, we just find well, it's a great transition. Let's get into that before. Like, he runs out of the diner, and
Hmm.
Hulk is still talking to him in his mind, and then it just goes black essentially to where Bruce Banner then just wakes up, and you can
Hmm.
tell it's like after he would have transformed. So we obviously missed something there. We don't know what, and we see destruction all around him and everything. And we just see him there, and he's trying to recuperate. Yeah, recuperate. And I really like that fact of after he wakes up, there's this whole thing of Hulk saying "your fault" as he's running away, and then he wakes
Hmm.
up and he has this graffiti that says, or graffiti that he sees that literally says "your fault" there.
Right, definitely, definitely. Um, And then moving on from there, like I said, I'm just scrolling down the book, brother. Bear with
Hmm.
me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Move on from there, man. It takes us to kind of our background story, our story that's going on.
Hmm.
That's not necessarily the main plot, but it's a big piece of it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We get to meet this girl named, I think her name is Charlene. Uh,
Charlie.
Charlie, correct, correct. She's outside working on a car that I guess she got inherited from her grandmother, while her father's inside sleeping with her.
She's stealing it from her father.
Yes, correct, correct. So apparently she's been working on it for quite some time, getting it up and running. She wants
Mhm,
to leave because her father's, basically an abusive asshole. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Just gathering that from context clues. Uh,
Yeah,
the hitch in which they've used to raise the vehicle up breaks. Father comes out, starts yelling, "What do you think you're doing with my car?" You
yeah.
know what I mean? Proceeds to yell at Charlene, and she dips off, man. She dips off, and she's super, super angry. Um, you know what I mean? Feel free to jump in, brother.
Yeah, no, we just you're doing good there as far as but yeah, we just get this introduction of the next character. New character, runs off away from her father and
True indeed, true indeed. She says things such as, "I'm gonna be bigger than you one day." Like you can tell,
right,
like she just really doesn't like her dad.
right.
You know what I mean? You see in some of the bubbles here, "I'm gonna kill you, girl." Things like this. The dad's
Hmm.
clearly just an asshole, piece of
Yeah.
shit. And yeah, she's super, super angry, man. Also, I love the fact that she has a Captain America symbol on her backpack. I will
Hmm.
say the art in this has been very unique, but I enjoy it. It's different. Uh,
Hmm.
but I'm a fan of it. How'd you feel about the
Yeah.
art so far?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, and it really pops out in some moments. Like I said earlier, when you had that creature coming out of the one
Mhm.
lady, it's great. There's another moment later on that really stands out to me that we'll get to in just a little bit.
For sure, for sure. I think the dome dish moment was done
That
very
was
well
great
as
as
well,
well.
so I agree. So moving on from, Charlene running into the woods away from her father, just mad as can be, we transition back over to the diner, and there's a team here that seems to be, uh, FBI, SWAT of some sort, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Um And they're basically discussing like, "Yo, if this is who we think it is, you know what I mean? We need to be on our P's and Q's." You know what I'm saying? Would you
Mhm.
agree?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting that we get our first main look here of,
Mhm.
the main bad guy here, of this lady, presumably in disguise,
True
named the
indeed.
Eldest, and we see that she, like, touches one of these people, and out comes a monster, literally here.
True indeed. So exactly. I don't know if she's truly FBI or what's going on here, but she is the villain, ladies and gentlemen. For a second, I
Mhm.
thought it was Natasha Romanoff. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was before we got into what was actually going on. I was like, "Oh, Natasha's
Right.
here to gather Hulk." It makes sense.
I
You know
can
what I
see
mean?
that, look.
The red hair, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Short bob cut. Anyway, so as Spencer was telling you guys, yeah, definitely she puts her hand on one of her followers, if you will. Another agent is what we thought. But and I don't know. I want to say I don't know if it's the touch that turned him into a monster. I think the monster was already in him, and she's just it's like
I
an
think
intimate thing, a sentimental
I
thing. I don't know.
yeah, I think the monster was already there, right? It's like the
Right.
followers are there, and you see them all kinda dressed similarly here,
Correct.
but I think she had the power to awaken them
Hmm.
from that, is what it seemed like.
So in this scene, the followers basically begging, you know what I mean? Yo,
Mhm,
can we eat? Can we feast after this?
mhm,
I just want to please you, but can we eat? And she's like, yo, you basically. I love how I street everything up with the yos. Basically though, can you if you complete this task, we will definitely feed. You know what I mean? So she next thing you know, he's his body's ripping and contorting in different ways, and out comes another one of those monsters. This time looking kind of like a bull, like the head of a bull, but a skeleton, would you say?
I got more of like a feel of a goat.
Yeah, could be
Kinda
a
like a
goat,
goat
could be
head
a goat.
there.
Definitely,
But
definitely.
yeah.
It's horrific. They really displayed it
Mhm.
well in the art. The monster coming out, and then right behind him, his just leftover skin, just
Oh,
laying. He
yeah.
shed it completely. Uh, in this moment, I'm like, oh, this is a horror book for sure. I mean, I got horror influence earlier on, but I'm like, no, dude, this looks like my wife. She only collects horror comic books. I don't know if you know this, Spencer. She's a big horror comic book collector.
Nice.
This looks like stuff out of you know what I mean, her books, man. So it's definitely terrifying. Going from there, the monster shedding his skin, jumping off into the woods to go search for who they're
Mhm.
looking for, which is Bruce. They're looking for not Bruce per se, the Green Monster. They want the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
That's their whole purpose there, as far as I gathered right now. Then it transfers back over to our side character Charlene here, on the run from her father. He's chasing her down in a car. She's screaming, "Get away from me!" He's yelling, "I'm gonna kill you!" All this craziness. He ends up running into a tree, right?
Yeah.
You don't know if he's dead or anything like that. Next thing you know, holy shit, what the hell was that? Um, then it shows right near her. Forgive me, I'm stumbling over my words. Right next to her, man. The cops and everybody else is yelling at Bruce Banner, telling him get down. Tony Stark is on the way, and Bruce Banner is doing his best to explain. You know what I mean? The Hulk's not playing anymore. You know what I mean? The Hulk is serious. He's trying to take over. This isn't gonna be good. He's not an Avenger. He legit says he's not playing. He's not playing Avenger anymore. This is between me and him. And they're like, how can the Hulk? You know what I mean? Be talking. They don't understand that it's two different beings. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, the Hulk turns into the Hulk, smacks the shit out of the cops, and dips off into the woods, saying, "Leave me alone. Tell Mr. Stark, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to anybody." He's super angry, and I gotta say, I love the way this Hulk is looking. Humongous. He is massive, bro. This is a thick Hulk.
They lean heavily into that. He is the monster.
True indeed. True indeed. I love the long hair look as well, bro. Something about it is
like
different.
That.
I
It
like
looks
it.
good.
It does. It looks creepy too. It looks
Yeah.
badass and creepy at the same time. He's
Yeah.
giving me everything I want out of a Hulk. Like I said, when I envision the Incredible Hulk, I see him as giant, like just massive,
Yeah.
monstrous.
He
Look
looks
at
great.
he
He
does.
looks
He does.
great. One of the big moments that really stood out to me is, especially with the imagery here, is that transformation that you see there. Some of that looks just truly terrifying in this amazing doubles page spread here.
It definitely does, man. How they show, I mean, basically one arm turning into the Hulk arm, the rest of it being Bruce's body. The face transition. You guys got to go back and
Oh
take a
man,
look at
it's
this in your
so
free
ugly.
time.
So ugly looking.
It is. It is. You get these big, massive horse teeth, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's they did really good on this art, man. I'm definitely a fan of it. Going from there, transitioning. Well, actually, it doesn't even change up. Flash right back to Charlene, who's not standing too far from the scene as her father's there crashed. She sees the Hulk in all of his glory, and she feels powerful. She feels empowered by it. You know what I mean? Empowered by seeing the Hulk. She's angry as well, which I think will play out later in the story. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Father starts trying to get out of the car, yelling, "I'm going to kill you," and she just beats the crap out of him, brother. Do you want to take
Yeah,
it from here?
she has her whole moment of rage here.
Yes.
And I really do think like this is such a huge foreshadowing moment of she sees the inspiration from Hulk and
Mhm.
then uses that, and this is the beginning of her wanting to be more like him.
True
And so
indeed.
it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here.
So I am very curious, and we can talk more about this. I just want to throw it out now, and we'll talk more about it probably when we finish issues 1 and 2, discussing them. But I am curious to see where her character goes, what her purpose is in this. I do see elements of maybe her being able to help, uh, potentially maybe Bruce and Hulk, help them see eye to eye, because she's also angry, and I feel like maybe she could relate.
Yeah,
But then also I'm wondering if she's gonna maybe get some powers or something like that. I don't know.
yeah. I've definitely been on the same train of thought. It'll be interesting to see
Do we
what
get a Kid
happens.
Hulk? I don't know.
Do we get a Kid Hulk? We'll
I'm not
see.
mad. But yeah, she beats the crap out of a father, revealing a big detail to this character, something that leaves a mark on her personality. Apparently, there's a big scarring on her face from her
Yeah.
father from previous situations, and this is why in the book we didn't tell you kids. She wears a hoodie. You know what I mean? Quite a bit, covering up her face. You know what I mean? She feels like a monster. This comes out a little bit later when she runs into the Hulk. She feels like a monster. You know what I mean? Because of
Yeah.
this. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I mean it's
For
really
sure.
it's an interesting character that we're seeing here.
True indeed.
With having we're having all these little early bits, and as we're just talking about it, like let alone like that one moment of her beating up her father makes it feel like, oh, this character's become something a lot more, and it's going to be interesting to see what that turns into later on, whether it's potentially like a Kid Hulk version, or
Kid
also
Hulk is
just
crazy.
not exactly on like a physical level, but maybe she'll also end up mentally helping Hulk or
Definitely.
Banner come one, like you said. So
I
we'll see.
agree. Moving forward, man, we see as soon as she's done beating the crap out of her father, she walks off into the woods just angry, chasing down the Hulk. She's not running, but kid, she's following the Hulk for sure. That monster that we discussed earlier pops into the scene, just out of the woods, pops right up to the father, and the father's, talking to himself, lies about me again, telling the monster quotes it back to him. You telling lies about me again? And he starts feeding, and in comes again the mother, right?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
she
what she's
comes
going with.
back, and it looks like the monster possessed back that the father.
Yes, put the skin on.
So yeah,
Mhm.
so that's how he gets the new skins, and
That's
then
terrifying, man. It's
right,
terrifying.
yeah, you see the red eyes there too.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then we see that there's a little bit of Hulk blood left there as well.
True indeed. True indeed. I
Uh,
do see the Hulk blood. I'm trying to make sure we don't leave anything behind.
no, you're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do see the Hulk blood here. And we also get a reveal of this hooded person that has been following around the mother and her henchmen. And this is
Mm.
Bruce Banner's I guess was dead wife. I didn't even know he was married ever.
Yeah, I'm
Uh
not exactly sure who that's meant to be. I'm not fully sure.
So it's this is his wife. It was referenced. They talked about it earlier. I
Hmm.
don't remember her name. Give me
Yeah,
10
me
seconds.
neither.
I'll scroll back up. Give me 10 seconds, and I'll have a
Did
name
they?
for you.
I don't remember them, but
They did.
yeah, seeing more of these villains is interesting for sure.
Definitely, I agree. I just think that the putting on of the skin is absolutely terrifying, brother. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's horrific. I'd hate to experience it. Yeah, guys, I can't find the name. I'll have to. We'll talk about it some other time. But yeah, so that's supposed to be Bruce's wife, man.
Yeah,
That's there, and so I'm curious to see. She's obviously possessed, right? I don't think she would
right,
betray
right. You
the
see, like
Hulk.
these wide eyes. It's like she's not normal. Her eyes are just completely white there.
Mhm, mhm. Then they also say, I mean, I see you basically trying to cast me out of your mind. You don't need to do that. I'm still a child of the mother of horrors. I am the eldest. So no, that's who she's going by. She's not the mother. She's the eldest. Basically, I guess being the eldest child. So whatever it is going on in this situation. And she goes into explaining, you know what I'm saying? Not explaining, summoning the
Hmm.
monsters of the world. And she puts out kind of a hit on the Incredible Hulk with all of these monsters.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Basically, I mean, help us find the Hulk, man. And
there's
it
some great teases here. Like
there
I
are
can't. I'm not sure who the first one is. Do you know what the first big one
the little
is?
goblin looking guys.
No, 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 the one that's like the big face that she's standing in front of.
No, I don't
Yeah, I don't
know.
know that one. But the other ones, though, those are all recognizable, right? Those are the yeah, those little people from the Underdark that Mole Man leads.
Okay, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know who they
I don't
were.
remember what they're called, but they have a name. And then you have Man Thing there, and then
Amazing. And then the
and
third
then
one, or the
the
fourth, I
third
guess it's
one's a
fourth.
big one, or fourth one. Yeah, the next one that's huge. Of where it's the
So who
first
I
hint.
think it is, you know what I'm saying? I want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah,
Uh Ghost Rider.
it's not Johnny Blaze or any of the ones you no, it's a new one that they're setting up
I mean,
here.
that's I just want a Ghost Rider against the Hulk,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Like that sounds
we're getting one.
super amazing, man.
So
That's
what that Ghost Rider is was actually revealed not that long ago
mhm.
for one of the upcoming covers for this series. And it looks really I'll say it looks really cool.
You have to shoot me a picture over.
It's like a World War II like Ghost Rider.
Nice,
So
nice. Yeah, that sounds incredible. I think the idea of Hulk going against any of these beings is gonna be
mhm.
just this is why I'm like, yo, I might keep reading this book. The book was written well, the art was great, but I'm like, the chance to see Hulk versus Ghost Rider, Hulk versus Man Thing, like come on, bro. Like, what more
It's
could I
a
want?
very exciting, like, this is the second to last page, right? But
Mm,
it does what an issue one should do, right? Because the only thing that really happens after this is like you still get more of this monologue, and it's saying, okay, this is now the age of monsters, and it ends
mhm.
with, Hulk towering over Charlie, and the book ends. I mean, now they're together.
God, that image of him towering though is
It's amazing.
it's
Yes,
so good, bro. So
it's
good.
great.
Uh, I was definitely a fan of issue one. Give me your
Yeah.
thoughts on issue one, really quick.
It,
Just how did
it
you feel after you read
yeah,
it?
I really enjoyed it for it really did its job for what an issue one should do to really get you at least for me, interested in what's to come and
I
also
agree,
generate a bit of excitement, right? You have a bit of that new ground set up. We're
one
having
hundred
this beginning
percent.
mystery of whoever this eldest is, and why exactly is she wanting the Hulk, or referring to him as like the Green Door at times or stuff like that. We're trying to figure out exactly what's going on with her here and why she's
Mhm.
tracking him. But now she's like, okay, I'm going to take a back seat here. Let's let all these other monsters also deal with him and see, you know, essentially trying to like get them all as like bounty hunters on them, right?
Right.
Putting a bounty on the Hulk.
Which is such a cool concept as well. Like I said, like you said, a bounty
Hmm.
hunter. I said earlier, like basically putting a hit out on him. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Bring me the Hulk. I think that that's a absolutely awesome, but also super crazy. And I don't think it's gonna pan out. You know what I mean? I don't think it's gonna work out well. But
No.
um, I loved it, man. It was super good. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna keep on reading. Yeah, I think I'm gonna
Absolutely.
keep on with this book. It was pretty cool. So here we
Absolutely.
are
Yeah.
in the issue number 2. The cover work was really good. Hulk again, just
It's
looking
great.
massive. Walking into a church. It looks good. A church on fire, that is. It starts off with some singing going on. I'm not really gonna sing the song or anything like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I'm
and it
good.
yeah, and an image of a church, and then into a tombstone, reading the name Sister Sadie, gone home. You know what I mean? And then like what is that? Like a bloody hand?
I got it more as like it's like a ghost that's coming out or something like that.
Okay. I've and
I
then
don't
with
know.
the railroad imagery, I feel like something's being awakened.
Yeah, they're setting up something there.
Mhm.
I think I mean, it looks like that's whatever the source of this music is coming from, but we don't know
Truly be.
what that is though. It's some weird orb. It's really
Definitely.
interesting.
I thought it was an eyeball. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna be honest. That's one thing I wasn't able to
I
make
have
out
no
in
idea
that.
what it is.
Me either. It looks
It's just a weird ball. That's all we know.
there's a thing there, guys. There's a thing there.
It's a
Uh
thing.
yeah. Transitioning back over though, shows a shirtless Bruce Banner looking pretty alert in the woods looking over
Hmm.
at Charlene there. Is it Charlie or Charlene, bro?
Charlie.
Okay, Charlie. I keep calling her. It is Charlie. You're right. You're right. You're right. I see it right here. Them looking at each other, man, and him basically telling her like, "Yo, get out of here, kid." Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the Hulk, and it's dangerous. You don't need to be here. As he does
Hmm.
all the time. He's always trying to shoot somebody off. Uh, and her just enamored, super excited, like, "Yo, you're the Hulk. Like, let me see it." You see her kind of pestering him a little bit, throwing rocks at the back of his head, trying to awaken the Hulk. And then boom, out of nowhere, there's a zombie walking across the field. She looks petrified. Bruce, calm, cool, and collected, like it's nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? And he talks to the zombie. He says, "Hey, old timer, what brings you out this way?" And then the zombie mutters back, "Going home to Red Creek, going to see Sister Sadie and Brother Deep." And then goes on
Yeah.
about his business, and it just shows Charlie and Hulk sitting there, Charlie and Bruce just standing there. You know what I mean? I think it looks like it's raining, but just standing there as a zombie walks off. I thought that what'd you think about that? I thought that was really a weird encounter.
It was definitely very interesting, that's for sure.
I
Uh
didn't know Hulk like hung out with the dead, but here in a second, well, he'll say something, you know what I mean, as Charlie
right.
asks about the situation. So transitioning over, man, it's them at a camp little campfire they've built, and Charlie basically asking, like, "Yo, so does that happen a lot? Do you talk to the like the dead, this and that. And Hulk says something that I thought was really, you know what I mean, interesting, and you can speak on it if you want. He says, "In my experience, monsters have a way of finding each other." So it seems as if Hulk has experience in this situation, man. Bruce and Hulk have been around these monsters, as if, as he said, they just kind of stick together. They kind of come together. What do you think about this?
Yeah, it's interesting. And, you know, I assume that's referring to a lot of different past experiences that I'm not
Mhm.
overly familiar with. But
Same.
I think this conversation here that they have at the campfire is great. It's a lot of great character building at this moment.
I
Uh,
definitely agree.
we get that brought up to where Charlie has the Captain America symbol on her back,
Mhm.
and Bruce is there like, "Hey, why do you have the Cap symbol there?" She's like, "Well, you know, Cap had a Bucky, right? So,
Mhm.
and Hulk's an Avenger too, isn't
Starts
he?"
kind of building into something that we were talking about earlier,
Right,
man. Go ahead. Go
exactly,
ahead. Take it. Take it.
exactly, right. And so, I feel like this is kind of like the first huge big piece of evidence
Mhm.
of that,
I hope that's
and
what they're doing. They better not be teasing this to me. And I'm behind Charlie. For some reason, we've only had her for one issue, and I'm like, I like this kid. I want to see where this goes with her. You know what I'm saying? But you're completely correct. She's hinting at like, yo, let me be your sidekick type shit.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And Bruce erupts like, yo, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like the Hulk doesn't want a sidekick. It's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Basically,
Bruce is
get
trying to protect her. She's
hmm
just trying to say, "Hey, get away from this monster. I am a monster."
true indeed, true indeed. And this is where you get again the reveal I talked about earlier. The you know what I'm saying? Kind of some insight as to how Charlie views herself. Bruce is yelling, she's backing up like, yo, chill out, chill out, chill out. And she trips, falls, the hoodie comes off. The face is revealed yet again, her scarring. Bruce sees that. And he's like, yo, like, what happened to your face? I'm so sorry. Instantly, his whole demeanor changed. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great moment, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
it comes back, her head just goes back there, and she's like, "Yeah, well, this happened at that quote unquote home that you kept telling me to go back to," and
Yeah.
he didn't say anything else this entire time, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "I'm here for Hulk, not you, Bruce. Hulk's
Mm,
the strongest thing I've seen," and then she's like, "You saw I'm a monster already,"
definitely.
and
Uh,
yeah.
Also, you know, I do want to say, being close to it makes me feel strong. I'm allowed to want the awesome too. After she says, "You saw I'm a monster already,"
Mhm.
I'm allowed to
Yeah.
want the awesome part too because she feels the Incredible Hulk is something amazing, something awesome. But I love that being close to the Hulk makes me feel strong. You know what I'm saying? That's some
Mm.
sidekick shit, bro. What are you talking about? Like that's sidekick language she's talking right now, brother. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then it kind of transitions into like a weird,
Dreams?
yeah, a dream state
Weird
scene, and they
dreams?
really displayed that
Yeah.
well with the art. It shows Charlie asleep, waking up, and her father coming to talk to her. You know, basically telling her like, you know what I mean, like, uh, I'm
Mhm.
coming for you, basically. You know what I mean? And what is it? The Deep? Not the Deep. That's the boys. What am I talking about? You got it. Go ahead. Brother Deep.
It's really interesting here. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was too. I just realized though, something that clicked with me, right, is that we see an evil version of her father, which is in a way foreshadowing for her character, while she doesn't know that he's kind of still around,
Right.
but he is still
True.
around. Um, but yeah, no, they're talking about Brother Deep is what it is. And we can still hear kind of like that music that we got at the beginning of
Hmm.
them trying to be
Hmm.
summoned over. It,
They go
yeah.
into you know, and basically, as you said, they are. He is running with Brother Deep and the the elder, whatever it is. But he
Mhm,
says can't outrun family, girl. Neither of you can. Talking about her and the Hulk, and then he goes into
mhm,
explaining they're all looking for the fractured son, which is what they keep calling the Incredible Hulk. That means they're coming for you too. She said, "I ain't
mhm,
scared anymore. I kicked your ass last time. I'm strong now." And then it transfers over to the Hulk's dream. But I think that that's really big. You know what I mean? Just basically revealing like because you're associated with the Hulk, like we're gonna get you too.
mhm.
And as you said, foreshadowing that her father's still around, her father, quote unquote,
Yeah.
somebody in her father's skin. But yeah, man, I think that that's absolutely crazy.
I-
And then it transfers over to. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah. I just want to highlight like that the art difference between their dreams is really great as well.
It's really
Uh,
unique. I don't know if you've ever read Arkham Asylum. Or not Arkham Asylum. It's this Joker book. Yeah, I think it's Arkham Asylum. It
yeah.
had very unique art like this.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
mhm.
I
But
know
yeah,
what you're
yeah,
talking about. Yeah,
it
but
is
it's
very
a very
different.
interesting distinction between the two dreams, and I really enjoyed seeing that.
Now,
Especially once you get into the Hulk's dream here,
mhm,
it's really interesting stuff with the imagery here. You know, Bruce being locked behind this bone cage and him
mhm,
breaking out, and then you see another psychic
God,
of the Hulk coming out and just about to smash him there. It's
true indeed.
great art.
You get a wonderful image of the Hulk in this. Both pictures of the Hulk here, him kind of just like you know what I mean. His face barely above the water here.
Hmm.
You know, and you just see those evil eyes. I know they're not evil, but it looks evil. You know, with the long hair, and then this just massive monster, the Incredible Hulk over Bruce, just being puny. And in this scene, you know what I mean. Hulk's asking for Charlie, like not Hulk, Bruce.
Hmm.
Charlie, where are you? He's concerned with protecting her. Hulk says the kid can't hear you. You thought I'd let you have a friend after what you did after Betty. Betty is his wife's name, Spencer. That's the girl.
That's
So I
right.
wonder if Hulk also cared about the Hulk's or Bruce's wife.
Yeah, possibly, and I think that's also to be said about something too, because Bruce is here asking about Charlie, right? And
Mm,
then there's something else that happens at the very end here, right? That we'll get into in just a bit. Uh, and then what Hulk is going on to doing here, right? Like Hulk is trying to set up saying, he literally ends by saying, "I'll be all that's left of you," right? And
mm-hmm.
so Hulk is wanting a complete takeover. He's wanting payback for Bruce imprisoning him for however long
My
he was
man is
imprisoned
mad,
for.
brother. He's super
He's
mad.
mad.
Transitioning on again, those panels were fantastic. That image of the
Mhm.
Hulk looking Bruce Banner in the eyes as they're in the water is
Mhm.
just horrific, bro. It is terrifying. Just imagine this monster just staring at you in your face. Like I don't know. It was done really well. Shout out to them for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Transitioning on, brother, you get Bruce Banner waking up in the middle of the night to some police sirens. Charlie waking up next to him, a cop getting out of the car, him Bruce telling Charlie like, "Yo, it's just a cop, I'll handle this." You know what I mean? Basically stay where you are. The cop asks like, "You guys thinking about spending the night here?" Bruce goes on to explain like, "No, man, we're just passing through. We had some car problems. We're trying to get to the town next to us." You know what I mean? And the cop really insists like, "Oh yeah, why don't you guys come with me? I'll give you a ride." And Bruce, you could tell Bruce and Charlie aren't really feeling it. Charlie's asking Bruce, like, yo, change, which seems to be a reoccurring thing with Bruce and a lot of his stuff is like somebody asking him, like, do the thing, and then him not doing the thing. Would you
Uh-huh.
agree? I've
Yeah.
seen
Oh,
that
yeah.
happen a
Definitely.
lot. He always does that. Just change, bro. Like, be useful. You know what I mean? Uh, anyway, them telling the cop no, like we're good, we don't want to ride with you, we're fine. But the cop is insisting, puts hand on gun, doesn't pull it out or anything. But he's like, I told you it's not safe out here, and you guys seem like good folks. I'm going out to the town next to me, man, and there's a lot of good church folk there. I can tell you're good folks. Why don't you come with me? And if I'm skipping over anything, let me know, bro. If there's
No, you're
anything you
okay.
want to talk
Keep
about
on
or
going.
highlight.
Keep on
And then
going.
it transitions over to well, right before the transition, shows them in the car, and yeah, it goes into what I just said, basically him talking about good God fearing people and they're on their way. But where they happen to be going, Spencer, do you want to tell them where they happen to be going?
They're going right on to I think they call it what, Red Creek Baptist here, that same
Red
church that we
Creek
saw at the very
Baptist, baby.
beginning. You know, we now get to see that same grave from the beginning, but it looks all dug up now. You know,
Busted
whatever was
open.
in Sister Sadie's grave has now gone from it.
True indeed, true
We
indeed.
see all these like zombie looking figures now in that church all singing this song together.
Mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
guessing Sister Sadie's probably the one sitting in the chair
I'd imagine. I think
there.
so. I think she's
Uh,
actually, they say her
the
name
main
a
one,
little
yeah,
later.
I believe so, yeah. Now
She
that you
looks
say
like a
that.
child, kind of. Maybe she's
Yeah.
just, old and small. I don't know. It's a horrific scene though. You just have this,
It
as
is.
Spencer said, this full church of zombies singing praise and worship songs. Fully like you know what I'm saying, interactive and like like they're smart. They're not like I wouldn't say like smart, but like they're not dumb. You know what I mean? They're clearly they're human cells, but in zombie form. It's very weird, very weird. And then in comes Bruce and Charlie with the cop. You know, and his sister Sadie speaks up, and she's like, she asks the officer, like, "Yo, it seems like you brought some new people here. Are they here to join the worship, join fellowship?" And he's like, "No, they're here for the sacrifice," type shit. And then one of the zombies pulled away I guess a blanket, a sheet off of this bathtub type device they have going on there.
It's
I
a
think
head cutting block essentially. I don't
is
remember what they
that
call it off,
is that what
but
that is?
they're wanting to behead them, right? There's that big butcher knife that's it, and then gets brought out.
Oh, you're very right. You're very. Oh, and in the scene with the butcher knife, like, there's a beautiful panel, ladies and gentlemen, of the Hulk. You see the Hulk's reflection as Charlie's telling Hulk or telling Bruce because they know some shit's about to go down. My bad. We almost ran right past that. That was my fault.
Right.
Charlie's telling Bruce like, "Yo, change, bro, change. It's about to go south." Bruce is telling Hulk like, "Yo, help me, bro. They're gonna kill Charlie." And
Oh
Hulk
yeah.
says, "I know, but they're gonna kill you first." And it just shows a little slick look of the Hulk in the butcher knife, his reflection looking at Bruce, and he's pissed again. My guy is just so mad right now, and I just think
That
that's
is a
so dark of the Hulk to say.
That's
Go ahead.
such a great moment, right?
Mhm.
Because this is the only moment so far to where you've seen Bruce speak to Hulk and
True,
ask for his
very true.
help now. Now
He
that
even
he's in
says,
danger.
"You no, go ahead. You got it. You got it."
Yeah, so like now they're in danger, he's like, "Hey, I need you now," right? I need you
Mhm.
to be sure that you can't get to Charlie, but he's like, "Oh no, they're gonna get to you first."
I thought there was even a moment where the Hulk says or Bruce says I'm sorry, but it doesn't come all the way out. He starts to say I'm sorry. I'm looking for it here, but I'm not seeing it, so we're just gonna leave it be. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a really intense moment. They displayed it well. Next thing you know, boom, a butcher knife to the chest of Bruce Banner, my brother.
Right?
What'd you think of that moment?
That was pretty wild, right? It's
I didn't expect that. You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit, like, is he dead?
That's
You know what I
really
mean?
big. Yeah, I think it's going to raise a big question of how is Bruce going to turn out in the next issue, right? Because he
Mhm.
gets stabbed and he's laying there on the floor, and then all of a sudden you see this blood start turning green, and then
Do you
out
see
comes the Hulk.
Charlie in the moment, like the panel literally right next to him being stabbed? Charlie saying, "Hell yeah!" Like she's excited. She's been waiting
She
for this
knows.
moment
She
her
knows
whole
what's
life.
happening.
Uh, Sister Sadie
It's so
catching on,
funny.
saying, "It's him. It's the fractured son." They know
Yeah.
some shit's about to go down. Praise
Yep.
him, praise be to the brother. They don't seem scared necessarily, but next thing you know what I mean. You get this beautiful panel of the Hulk or Bruce changing into the Hulk, and it
Mhm.
says next issue revival. What are your thoughts on this final panel here? I thought it was drawn again beautifully. He's fucking massive. You get one, just most of his body is now the Incredible Hulk, and then a part of his hand is still Bruce.
Oh yeah, it's as most of the other or pretty much all the other art in this has been absolutely amazing, and so it's such a great panel to really get you excited for what's to come next, and ready to see probably our first proper Hulk action in this series yet. Right?
I
It's
will
gonna be one of
say,
those.
right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
It's
ahead.
gonna be one of those series to where it's not relying on the action, but when the action's there, it's gonna feel a lot more earned.
Definitely.
Especially when you're gonna get to those moments later on where it's like, maybe he'll fight Man Thing or fighting this other Ghost Rider. It's gonna be some epic moments coming up.
100%. I will say at the end of this panel, at this point, you know what I mean? When I was realizing, like, yo, the book's over, is right where I was wanting that fight. I was like, oh God,
Right?
it's happening. It's time for
Feels
some Hulk.
it
I'm feeling
feels
like Charlie. Hell yeah, let's go. And then they cut it. They cut it on
right,
me. And now I got to read the next issue. So it
right,
was good.
yeah.
Do you know when the next issue is coming out, bro?
Oh, I don't not know the date right off, and it'd be next month because this one I'm pretty sure this one just dropped like a week or two ago.
True indeed, for sure, for sure. Uh, Well, man, I thought it was an incredible book. Do you want to go over your overall thoughts as to how you felt?
Yeah, I mean, it was really, uh, I did really enjoy it. I thought it was a pretty good start onto it. I think talking about it here honestly has made me appreciate so more of it as
Definitely,
well.
definitely.
Uh, I originally signed up for Hulk for that wacky idea that they had originally. And so, and I was thinking about honestly cutting the series just to, like, reduce some
Hmm.
costs. Having so many series to put aside, it adds up to a lot of money.
Definitely,
And
definitely.
so, I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll cut this, but, I'll check it out. I'll see what Hulk's doing here, right?"
Hmm.
But by that end of the first issue, it's like, "Okay, okay, yeah, you definitely have me reading more, good enough to keep on setting aside the Hulk stuff for me to purchase."
For
And
sure.
so, I don't think this second issue necessarily, I don't wanna say, like, I don't think it really extended my excitement at all for it, but
No,
it was a great it still was a really good issue though. Uh, you had some great character driven moments, and it has me really looking forward to what's next though still too.
definitely. I will say, man, I haven't really read a lot of Hulk. You know what I mean? So I didn't know what to think coming into this.
Mhm.
Again, you seem to have that effect when you have me read certain books, man. I go in not knowing what to think, and I'm like, at the end of it, I'm glad I can trust your judgment when it comes to a book, man. Salute to you, respect your direction. I want to say that live on show. Shout out to Spencer. He knows what to read, kids. Holla at him. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what to think going in, man. But I will say now that I've read it, I am excited. I'm most likely gonna read the next issue and continue on. I think the concept of what's about to happen here is not like the other Hulk books. Shout out to all the other ones, you know what I mean? But it's a
Mhm.
different concept, man. This horror element of him fighting, you know what I mean? Just different monsters and things like that. I think that's going to be really cool. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's going to be a really fun journey.
Yeah, I think if they can keep on using this horror elements with
Yes,
those other monsters, I think it makes some really great, memorable issues, right? Like seeing another horror-ish take on Man Thing and having them eventually battle out. Seeing more of those the Mole Man's minions, I don't remember what they're called again. Having a swarm of those go against Hulk sometime, or even what I'm personally most excited for is seeing a new version of Ghost Rider come up and
that's
fight
so.
him,
You're
and
somebody
it's
who's
gonna be
currently
great.
reading Ghost Rider, right? You collect Ghost
Yes,
Rider. So
I
I've
do.
also never read a Ghost Rider book ever in my life, man. So to see some Ghost Rider versus Hulk action uh, is not only exciting, but it may inspire me to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna check out some Ghost Rider.
I
So
I would say this current series I'd say is I'd say it's a good place to hop in, right? Uh it plays very much into a lot of those horror moments like this too. It's
for sure,
not one of those things where it's constant Ghost Rider action. No, it's you see more Johnny Blaze trying to cope with this other persona with him as well, and it's a lot of the same ideas of it, in a sense. But it's not a monster threat he's facing against; it's more demons, and
for
uh,
sure.
very it feels very horror-y.
I'll have to check it out, man. I want to say before we do get off, I'm a fan of the monster books, man. I'm a fan of monster movies. I'm a fan of monster books. So this is taking two of my favorite elements, right? For a comic book, man, is a superhero, if you will, and monsters. Combining them together, kids, I feel like is a beautiful recipe, a recipe for success, especially a character like the Hulk. I think this is gonna go really well, man. I'm excited. I'm gonna keep reading. Um, any last words, brother, before we pop off of here, man?
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't already read this, go check it out. I mean, highly recommend it, especially go to your local comic store, go support their business and read this interesting new take on the Hulk. Obviously something that both me and Castro here really enjoyed, but
True
uh
indeed.
yeah, check it out for yourself, see what you think.
Brother, I had a blast going over yet another comic book with you.
Absolutely.
Hopefully I have a feeling there'll be many, many more down the line. It's just we got a vibe, man. It's a good time. I like hanging
Absolutely.
out with you. I like talking to you. Anything going on with Red Church Remastered or Dingus Den that the people need to know about?
What did you need to know about? Well, I'm currently in the middle of finishing up editing for my last part on the Crisis on Infinite Earths
Beautiful.
series. So it'll be the last 4 issues of that massive 12-issue series.
For
Uh,
sure.
and on Red Shirts Remastered, we've been celebrating that we're officially affiliate now. Had a great celebration stream.
Congratulations, brother.
All our podcast Rambling Red Shirts will be on YouTube now. We'll be streaming there on YouTube now, and Twitch will still have all our gaming stuff. Today and yesterday we streamed Sea of Thieves, and so there's going to be lots more of that to come, as well as plenty of other games. And yeah, check out
For
both
sure.
channels.
For sure, man. You guys go check them out. Red Shirts Remastered, The Dingus Den. You know what I'm saying? Super excited to come over there and talk some books with you guys coming soon,
Absolutely.
man. Ladies and gentlemen, Spencer, thank you, bro. You the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I rock with you, man. Play some ESO. Man, play some ESO. I'm waiting on you. You guys don't know this behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Me and Spencer, we've been gaming together. He's in my stream a lot, just all around. Yeah, I consider you a presence in my community, brother. I'm super thankful you're around, man. I feel like we've been making an actual friendship, and it's really nice to have you.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, kids, behind the scenes, we've started, deciding like, hey, we're gonna play some games together. You know what I mean? We made a little list. Spencer sent me some ideas. We chose ESO out of our games. I pick up ESO. We start playing. I automatically become addicted. Spencer starts school, and now I'm lonely playing this game, man. I've been leveling so much. You're gonna be mad at me, bro. By the time you
No,
come
you're
back,
fine.
like,
You're fine.
but I'll be able to carry us. I'll be the
There you
tank
go.
we needed,
There you go.
especially for you as a low
There
level. I'll
you
be the
go.
tank that you needed, bro. I'll just be
There we
murking through
go.
everything. So, and I like to fancy my character as a Greek god of sorts. So
There you
to have
go.
that ability to just seem like, or to have that illusion of like I'm just mashing through everything just because I'm high level, it'll be a good time. But anyway, kids, check out the Comic Cons podcast on all streaming platforms. Be sure to subscribe right now to the YouTube, kids. You know what I'm saying? We are literally on Spotify, Audible, Google Play, iTunes, anywhere you need a podcast, kids. We are there. Go check that out. We have a giveaway coming soon, guys. I should be going live. I think the details will already be out by the time this episode drops. So, guys, there should be a video on the Instagram right now where you guys will be able to see all the wonderful comic books we'll be giving away. All you have to do
That's
is
great.
go subscribe. Thank you so much. Go subscribe. Share a video of the podcast on one of your streaming services or one of your social media platforms. Tag the podcast as well as follow us on Instagram, kids, and we will enter your name into a wheel and we will go live and we will spin that wheel, guys. We'll have 5 winners to win 6 really, really nice, super crisp, super clean comic books. A lot of them are like issue 1s or really special variant covers, guys. So just stay tuned for that. I'll have a more concise, detail-oriented guide as to how to do this coming very soon. I know I just blurted a bunch of stuff at you guys, and that was probably hard to follow, but coming soon, kids. Also, go check out King Castro X Gaming on Twitch right here. Check it out. Come see me stream. I yell a lot. I talk about some stuff. It gets a little weird. I'm going to keep it really honest with you. Content there versus content here. It's a little different, but also there's definitely some crossover. We talk about nerdy stuff constantly there, man. So without further ado, kids, Spencer, thank you so much for being here. This has been the Comic Cons podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, where is Jules at? Somebody message that man and tell him get in here and podcast with me, kids. Have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much, and go collect something, kids. We are out. Boop, boop, boop. Yes, sir.